Merry Meet and Happy New Year. I am Morgana Brid. I thought that today I would start a new thing where I post weekly tarot videos. So for Yule, I got a beautiful deck. I got the Gilded Tarot deck from a friend as a gift, and I have 3 decks now, and I'm not very well versed in tarot. I haven't really practiced very much. I've used the same deck since high school that was also given to me, and then I bought a new deck 2 years ago that I have hardly touched. So I wanted to start practicing, and I thought one way I can practice is by doing a card a day type of thing, and it's built up from there. So what I want to start doing is just every week pull one card for each day of the week and just give a reading. I will talk about how the card reads to me, and then I'm going to go and use the companion book that comes with it to give you the definition that comes with the book. But first I'll go over how it means to me and just move on in that way, and I'll do one of those for each day of the week. And over the year I'll be able to look back on it, learn as I go, and hopefully offer something to any of you who are out there watching. So let's get started. So I've gone ahead and already shuffled my cards. So I am going to lay Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and next Sunday. So these are the cards for the coming week. Like I said, I'm going to tell you what I get from the card, and then I'm going to just talk about what what the book says about the card. So first we have Monday. On Monday we have the Fool. One thing that I notice is that while there is that sense of frivolity, the Fool himself doesn't look very happy. He has a very sad face. His mouth is downturned, and it's almost as if he's kind of concentrating. So what I'm feeling is that he's juggling all these things. He's not just juggling the whole zodiac, but he's juggling the year, which I think is a good first card for the first day of the year. He's got a lot to do. He's juggling in his hands. He's dropped his staff, I believe, but he's kind of holding it in his hoop. And so it's not gone, it's just not necessarily in his reach. And staffs typically for me tend to be a symbol of power. But what I do notice in this context is the zodiac sign. So I noticed that he's basically saying the whole year is in his hands. Or for you watching this, the whole year is in your hands. What I'm getting is a sense of busyness, a sense of excitement, and a sense of uncertainty. What I mean by that is unsure of whether or not you're going to be able to hold the things that you want to hold, or handle everything throughout this year that you want. But as you can see in this card, he's doing it. Now, I'm going to read to you what the book says for this card, the Fool. The Fool is at the beginning of his journey. All possibilities and seeming contradictions exist in this moment. The signs of the zodiac that he so carelessly juggles indicate both the signs of the heavens and the vastness of human imagination. These symbols represent all types of personality traits. Which one will he end up with? Will he make this important choice, or will the choice be made for him by chance? Is he playing when he should be serious, or is his play filled with wisdom? Speaking of playing, is that gold hoop at his feet something he should be paying attention to, or is it a possible distraction? The Fool does not know, nor does he care. He lives in the moment, filled with wonder and curiosity, not worried about where the journey will end. The Fool's message is one of unconventional choices. Take a leap of faith. Adopt a playful attitude in a serious situation. You are at a crossroads, and you have no way of knowing where each road will end. Pick one that strikes your fancy and set out with courage and a light heart. Prepare to meet all challenges with confidence. Be aware of carelessness and folly. There is a difference between taking a risk and plowing headfirst into danger. Reckless behavior can lead to a long path of unhappiness. The next card we have for Tuesday is the Empress. So right off the bat, I noticed that we again have the entire zodiac here. This time it is surrounding the Empress, and instead of being held, it is doing the holding, it is embracing her. In addition, she's holding a symbol of femininity, of womanhood. What I get from this card is a sense of peacefulness, of calm, and of seeking your inner femininity, your inner softness. So I think this day, Tuesday, might be a day for softness, for rest, for calmness. Being that she is the Empress, there is naturally something very regal about her and the way she holds herself. She, in my eyes, appears to be a gentle goddess or a priestess of a sort. Not necessarily the high priestess as in the high priestess card, but a priestess in her own right. What I'm hearing from this is to stand in your own power. Today is a day for you to stand inside of your strengths and your powers and to understand all of the sides and aspects of yourself, to try to understand that and work with that, and let that be what guides you. Now I will read what the book says about the Empress. The Empress follows the High Priestess, just as inspiration is ideally followed by manifestation. Circled by astrological symbols representing the possibilities of life, her red belt and her fiery hair speak of earthly passion and sensuality. Covering her passion, though, is her blue flowing cloak, representing emotion. A solar system-like necklace hangs near her heart. Her action is largely internal and nurturing, surrounded with feeling. She is the mother archetype from whom all life flows. She holds a circle with a cross, a symbol of the feminine, and also a symbol of the balance of opposites, both the idea and the physical form of the idea. At the most basic level, she is both the epitome of love and the birth of a life resulting from that love. The message of the Empress is that of creation and passion. You are in a position to nurture and give birth to a project. Tap into the energy of Mother Earth and celebrate her gifts. Recognize, honor, and celebrate your senses, the physical world, and nature. Be aware of maintaining a healthy balance. Do not let your emotions or actions become obsessive or controlling. And do not allow a chaotic proliferation by trying to do too much. A garden needs careful and loving cultivation. Too much or too little upsets the delicate balance of beauty. So now the card we have for Wednesday is the Hermit. So what I'm getting from this card right now is a sense of isolation, but serene isolation. Today is a day to spend studying. Today is a day to start new projects. It's a day to maybe learn a new language or start learning a new language that you've been putting off, or study something that you have been interested in but have just told yourself that you don't have the time. Today you need to take the time. Today you need to sit back and maybe spend your time alone or with a loved one and just learn something new, or just bring something new into your life and learn something about yourself or learn something about someone else. I'm seeing a world of possibility. I'm seeing that you are on a path somewhere, and if you start to take the steps to learn something new or start to take the steps that you need to take today, you will find yourself at the end of that path with new knowledge and with new understanding. Now I will read what the book says about the Hermit. A mysterious old man walks a lonely, narrow path. He carries a light representing his mind and the knowledge he has acquired, and a staff symbolizing the power of his will. His red belt indicates something of the passion that drives him in his search. While he has much knowledge of the world and a strong will, there is still much that is unresolved in his heart. Alone, he goes off to contemplate, to compare conventional knowledge to what he feels in his heart. The message of the hermit is one of self-knowledge. It is time for you to withdraw, contemplate what you know, and make sure your beliefs reflect the leading of your own heart. Now you must learn who you are and what you believe. Then you can trust yourself without depending on the opinions of others. Be aware of withdrawing too long or for the wrong reasons. Withdrawing from life out of fear or to avoid personal responsibility is not the same as self-examination. Thursday's card is the Tower. So my first thought when I look at this card is how interesting it is that it comes on Thursday, which if you study Norse mythology, you would know is Thor's day, or can be known as Thor's Day, and Thor is the god of lightning, and as you can see, the tower itself is being struck by lightning. I find that very interesting. Who knows, maybe we'll have a storm on Thursday. But what I'm getting is an escape or a culmination of something that's been building up. So here we have the 4th day of the year. You've probably been working on things throughout the last few months leading up to this year. And now we're dead in the middle of the first week of 2018. So what I'm seeing is that a lot of us have let go of some things that were not serving us and had been holding us back. What I'm hearing is that we've released things that were trapping us or keeping us away from our freedom, from our better good. And today is the day where that culminates into us breaking out of our shell. It culminates into maybe something scary, maybe something frightening is starting, but is necessary. It's frightening, but it's necessary to move forward. And so we are jumping into something new and jumping into something different and creating something new and different. But this requires a destruction of our something in our past. This requires the abandonment of something that may not have been serving us well or helping us in any way. Now I will read what the book says about the tower. Carefully crafted, tall, beautiful and strong, the tower represents our world view. We have added to it and altered it as needed. We expected it to last and serve us well. It is hit by lightning, a literal bolt from the blue, and is destroyed. The bolt symbolizes, in some form or another, a moment of illumination, of realization, of experience that shakes our world to its very foundation. We fall like the naked man from the structure. We have to rebuild, and we have nothing, or so it seems. However, don't discount what the flash of lightning reveals to you. The message of the tower is a difficult one. Unlike the wheel, with its philosophical message of centeredness, and death with its promise of spiritual enlightenment, the tower doesn't seem to offer much except destruction. Our belief system helps us find calm in the center of the wheel and gives us courage to face death. In the tower, that belief system is shattered. The good news is that it is usually shattered by a truth that we didn't recognize before. Knowing the truth is good. Ignorance is not really bliss. Be aware of over-dramatizing situations. If you overreact to every upset in your life, you may find yourself ill-prepared to deal with real trauma or tragedy. Friday's card is the World. What I get from this card is power, strength, moving forward, mirth. The world is not only gold, but it is glowing and it is right around her, and it is the center of the image, and right in front of it is a powerful being. A being who is clearly moving, and I believe she's moving forward. In her hand, she's wielding these two batons, these two symbols of art, of creation, of movement, of wind and air. For me, as a Wiccan, wind and air represent communication and understanding and sharing of thoughts, sharing of creations. What I am hearing right now is that everything, this first week of 2018, for most of you, has been a beautiful week, has been one of growth, of learning, of changing, and much of it after yesterday's upset or whatever happened yesterday, whatever we had to destroy to move forward, we are now coming in to embrace it. Everything that we've worked for and everything that we had to give up to gain this is now showing its face. It's now starting to grow seedlings, grow saplings. Our seeds are starting to sprout, and our work is coming to fruition. Let's see what the book says about the world. A woman stands with poise, dignity, and assurance. She stands before the world, surrounded by laurel wreaths, indicating her mastery. She holds wands, representing her will, in both hands. Unlike the other figures in the major arcana, her will is in tune with both sides of herself. She has achieved balance of her consciousness and unconsciousness. She celebrates a great accomplishment. For this, she is recognized by the world and, more importantly, by herself. The message of the world is that of completion and accomplishment. You feel a sense of unity with the universe and mastery over self that is natural and effortless. You move to the rhythm of nature and of your heart. They are one. Be aware of a false sense of security. In theory, the world represents total completion. However, in our human lives, this is never really achieved. But because we are human still, we can achieve only partial or temporary oneness. These temporary or partial experiences encourage us to keep growing and move forward, if for no other reason than to experience that exquisite moment of freedom and understanding again. I ran out of memory on my camera and had to switch over, and I noticed that the video got a little blurry through that. I do apologize. I am working on getting some better recording gear, but at the moment this is what I have because I have been reading these cards sort of off the top of my head and revealing them to myself as I reveal them to you. I don't want to go back and try to redo it. The card for Saturday is the Five of Wands. So right off the bat, it appears that we have a bit of a battle scene, but the more that I look at this card, the more I think it's a practice battle. I don't see any real negativity in the faces of the people participating in the battle. I feel, and because I feel like they all are carrying the same wands and all dressed very similarly, on top of this being a very peaceful backdrop. Like the scenery that they are in is beautiful, and there are these cute little critters and butterflies, which are often a symbol of knowledge, of understanding, of growth. So Saturday might be a day where you find yourself in a bit of a headbutting situation. Maybe there is a coworker you don't get along with, or there are some rules that you are being made to follow that you don't necessarily agree with. Or maybe it's just one of those days where you feel like everything is rubbing you the wrong way. And I think what I'm hearing is that it's your job not to let that happen. It's your job to keep a straight, stable head, because this situation hasn't gone to war. It's not explosive. It's not really as big as it may look from first glance. It's not as violent or angry or crazy as it may appear from your first impression. So take some time and look at whatever situation is upsetting you today. Look at whatever is causing you any sort of discomfort and see what you can to fix it, and see what you can do to live with it if you can't change it, to accept it, and to let it either let it go, let it out of your life, or to simply accept that it is what it is and move forward and move on with your life. Let's see what the book says about the 5 of Wands. In a clearing, 5 men compete. They use their wands, representing their wills and abilities, to spar. By doing so, they learn their own strengths and weaknesses while assisting their companions in the same way. The Hierophant, Major Arcana 5, is about the best of collective human achievement. The 5 of Wands shows how we help ourselves and other individuals reach for their best and thereby add to the collective good. You are in a competitive situation. See it for what it is, an opportunity to grow and to help others. Although competing with others, you are really in competition with yourself. Do your best for your own good and for the good of others. Be aware of inappropriate motivations. Compete with an eye to improving yourself and society, not to hurt or destroy someone else. Play by the rules, have confidence in yourself, and do not seek an unfair advantage by cheating. Sunday's card is the 10 of Wands. Immediately, I get a sense of hard work. That I think is pretty obvious from the fact that there's a man carrying these 10 wands, and they are so heavy that not only is he having to bend over, but his knees are bent and he is close to the ground. He is working hard towards something. But I feel that whatever it is a positive something. It's a positive thing that is in harmony with nature and with whatever it is that's his greatest good. I feel this because of the surrounding. He is again in a peaceful place. But more than that, there are 2 antlered animals, either elk or deer or moose or something. I don't know my antlered animals. But these animals are known for fleeing when there's someone around. And many times I have noticed that when I am out in the woods and I see a deer, they watch instead of run. And it makes me feel that I am a little more connected to nature and connected to the world around me, because they're not afraid of me, and they're curious, as curious of me as I am of them, and we both have this desire to understand one another. And I feel like that's what's happening in this card, that these animals, they're watching him and understanding what he's doing and that he's working hard, but they're not afraid, and neither should you be. Don't be afraid to work, to put in the hard work and move forward. Let's see what the book says about the 10 of Wands. A purposeful man carries his large burden through the night toward the morning sky. He is almost done with his wearisome task. The full moon above and the dawn on the horizon indicate the end of a cycle. This card echoes the turning of the Wheel of Fortune, Major Arcana 10. The deer watch silently from a distance, perhaps inspiring the man with their quiet strength. You are nearly finished with an arduous task. You may be exhausted, but the light at the end of the tunnel, like a beautiful sunrise, gives you the determination to see this through. Draw on your most basic instincts for the strength to finish what you've started. Be aware of stopping too soon. Do not let the relief of seeing the end of the situation cause you to falter. Rather, let it focus your actions. This concludes our card reading for the week of January 1st to January 7th. Thank you and have a beautiful week.